Here we have a white on black 2022 Audi RS Q8. So for that powertrain, we get a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 engine, made it to an 8-speed shiftable automatic transmission, 591 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque. And we're just gonna see how this one performs and how it's held up after 36,000 miles. So as we come around to the front end here, full LED headlamps. Love the aggressive yet still elegant front fascia here. It looks like it can do damage on the road, but it also looks like it's comfortable to drive in. As we come around the wheels here, these are big boys. These are 23-inch alloy wheels. Love the look though, and I love how big they look just on the quarter panel and all that. Just looks very menacing, very aggressive. We get passive keyless entry, all 4 doors, memory seat functions, power door locks, power windows. We have electronic child locks for the back, power folding side mirrors, and then your blind spot monitor is right in there. And there is the control to open and close the lift gate. We got a Bang & Olufsen sound system. I'm gonna pop the hood for later. Pedals, power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. And there's our power driver's seat, 4-way power lumbar support. I just love the quilting here on the leather. It looks very nice. Now I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so we're gonna check out the rear seat room here. So pretty good space back here. Headroom is pretty good, as with the panoramic roof there, when you get towards the back, the roof line kind of scoops back up where my head would be, so that helps. Seat back pockets on both sides. Rear AC controls are here, so we do get that quad zone automatic climate, and then we have 3-stage heated outboard seats for the back here. But there's a view of the front. And then our middle seat, we can fold that down, and bottle holders are there. And then the grab handle, we can hang a metal hanger hook there probably with no problem. Let's go ahead and make our way to the back. So LED tail lamps. Nice aggressive sound from the exhaust as well. Let's go ahead and open the latch, or open the hatch, excuse me. And a big shout out to Auto Pro of Nashville for allowing me to review this RS Q8. And then we have the cargo shade if we want to use that. Not sure we get that back up, but worry about that later. But good space back there. Fuel cap. Now these are pretty neat, like the regular Q8s. They're very, very usable, but mostly I'm reviewing this RS Q8 because I want to take it out on the road. I'm very excited about that. Now this locks, then you just release it, lock it back into place. And these doors are soft close, I forgot to mention that. Similar adjustability for the front passenger side. Pretty good size glove compartment. Owner's manuals are still in there. Coming back around to the front here, gonna pop the hood. It is covered up, but there's that twin turbo V8. Sheesh, this wind, I swear, every time I've been filming the past few days, it'll be fine until I get outside and then it just wants to blow as hard as it can. Well, let's hop back in the driver's seat here. So nice Alcantara wrap steering wheel. There's the horn there. Up to the screen, we do get wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility, along with AM, FM. And Then we also have XM radio there. Our vehicle settings in here. There's quite a lot that we can fool with, including the driver assistance. Your settings in here, you can go ahead and mess with all of that if you so choose. Pull up the backup camera. Pretty good picture. You get that bird's eye view as well. Front camera there. And for the navigation screen, pretty easy to use. With that being built in, you have your shortcuts that you can use as well if you want to find dining that's close, fuel stations, things of that nature. So just want to show the screen in its entirety. Now down here, this is always neat. They also have this in the Urus, but you have the climate controls you can control here. So you can say, hey, I want to have the fan as low as possible here. I want it high here. Let's say I want to adjust the temperature. So you can just fool with it and really configure it to you and your front passenger's desired setting down to the T. And then on top of that, you get your 3-stage heated cooled seats up here as well. Shortcuts for the nav, and then you have your garage door transmitter there, downhill brake control. And then in here, you can heat your steering wheel, control the rear, sync, all of that. Now this is a shortcut for your driver assistance. You can set that to individual, basic, or max. And then you have your parking sensors and front camera. You can control all of that there. Volume control here, click that to mute. And then for the shifter, hit this, pull down for drive, and then you can pull up for reverse, and tap down for neutral, press P for park. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down and disengage. 12 volt here, bottle holders are there. Center console cubby space has 2 USB-C charge ports as well as a wireless charging pad. Controls for the sunroof are right here. And there's the roof itself. And we can tilt or slide that back. So pretty good space there. And there's a look at the back seat from up here. I like that we can close the roof while closing the sunshade too. Vanity mirror. Now back to the wheel here, blinkers. High beams, we can turn those on, turn them off, flash. We can turn on the lane keep system there. And then we have our automatic wipers. So one time, off, auto, low, high. Then we can adjust the auto sensitivity there. And then our rear wiper is there. So pretty interesting. And then you can see, you can turn it on, off, and it shows you what setting it's in on the screen. And then you can change your views here for the gauge cluster and go through the sub menus using these arrows here. And then if you want to go more in depth with anything, hit the OK button when applicable. RS modes there, Bluetooth voice recognition, volume control, tracklist radio station presets, and then we have our cruise here. We can turn that off, turn it on, set the speed, set the distance. So pretty straightforward. And then headlamp controls are here. And I don't remember if I mentioned the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Heads up display. Then our push button starts here. Here's the key fob. But now to the fun part. Let's go ahead and take this 36, almost 37,000 mile 2022 Audi RS Q8 out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this RS Q8, goodness gracious. When the full power of the twin turbo V8 kicks in, it really does throw you back, and it's got such a great rumble to it. And there are several different modes that you can go through here. You can just hit the RS button if you want to, and then you have the drive select down here, where you can go between auto, dynamic, all-road, off-road, comfort. And it gives you so many different driving experiences depending on what you're looking for. But what's crazy is just coming downhill here, it's very, very quiet. And I mean, the sound acoustics in here are very good. Even with 23-inch wheels, the ride quality is pretty nice. Just a very impressive setup here for the SUV in general. Yeah, it's crazy, just the sound deadening, everything that's going into this, because AC is off, but it's still almost, I'd say it's quieter than most EVs just in terms of the road noise. And with this being a twin turbo V8, I would expect it to be louder in here, but it really isn't. So very impressed by that, especially for a vehicle that you can get now for under $100,000. But a good feel here in terms of the seat especially. It feels very sporty, it's very supportive, but I can fit in it just right. And it's nice and snug, but not overly tight, if that makes sense. I don't feel like it's doing too much. So we're gonna go ahead and take it on the interstate here. I'm gonna put it into the RS1 mode, and then we're also gonna put it into the manual mode and see what it can do. Yeah, the power this thing has is absolutely ridiculous. It's so quick. And it's just, when you put your foot into it and you get that roar just between the engine, the exhaust, and the nice hard but not overly rough shifts, it just, you feel like you're in something that's been from another world almost. I mean, the acceleration is crazy. It's also so effortless though. Once you find the gear that you need and those turbos give you that pull, it's fantastic. That's the only way to describe it. Just a fantastic feeling SUV. It's so quick, but then once you let off, it's just your everyday driver. And even though this has the same powertrain as the Urus, it's still, this feels less stiff to me, and I think they were doing that on purpose. This is more of the luxury oriented one. Now the Urus still rides fantastically, but I feel like the Urus always lets you know that it's a Lamborghini. Even when you have it in comfort mode, the exhaust is down, you're just cruising, it still lets you know you're in a Lamborghini, where this lets you know you're in an Audi. But if you put it into that RS mode, you feel like you're in a Urus. So a great overall package for a sport luxury SUV. Now in terms of the price point for this right now, not bad. These are actually starting to kind of show their reliability, and I've seen a lot of these Uruses especially that have 60, 70,000 miles, and they're still bringing $150,000, $160,000 all day. And I'm sure you'll see a ton of these go over 100,000 miles in the next couple of years, because people who have the Urus, they drive them like Range Rovers. And I've seen a lot of Range Rovers, especially diesels, with 150, 200,000 miles. And people just ran them into the ground and they're still running. So I think you'll see quite a few of these in that realm, especially as auto prices get back to normal. We'll see these a bit cheaper with maybe 50, 60,000 miles. And people who drive them more often, who have to work, will put more miles on them every year. But all in all, just a fun SUV. somewhat practical SUV other than the gas mileage. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2022 Audi RS Q8.